Hello friends, we are going to discuss about motion. We know different types of motion. Motion is possible because of the applied force. Uh, we are going to discuss about the different types of motion. If we are considering the body which is at rest, we consider here the block which is kept on the table. At that time, its weight is acting in the downward direction. Weight is nothing but mg, and this weight is balanced by the upward component or the normal reaction. It is the perpendicular, or it is the force acting perpendicular to the surface from center of gravity, and this force is given by normal reaction. When the object is at rest, then we are getting normal reaction is equal to mg. These two force balances each other. Or if we are applying the force in the forward direction, that force is given by F1. At the same time, the force is acting in the opposite direction, that force is given by F2. If these two forces are also equal, means F1 is equal to F2, then we are getting this object is at rest. Means what? The force causes the motion. If the force F1 it is greater than F2, means what? If we write here F1 is greater than F2, then object moves in the forward direction. The opposing force F2, it is the frictional force or any type of force. When F1 is greater than F2, this block moves in the forward direction. If we are considering when we are walking on the surface of the earth, at that time our legs exerts the force, and the sand which exerts the opposing force. When the vehicle is moving on the road, at that time vehicle is moving in the forward direction, and the road surface which is the rough, which opposes the friction or which applies the opposing force, which is the frictional force, so that as friction increases, speed of the vehicle decreases. Okay, and this is the first type of motion. This motion is called as, or this type of motion is called as linear motion. It is the straight motion, or body moves in a straight line path. If the body is moving in a straight line path with constant velocity, if the linear velocity of the object is constant, then this motion is called as uniform motion or uniform linear motion. Otherwise, if velocity is different or that object is in acceleration, means that object is moving in accelerated motion, then it is in non-uniform linear motion. This is the first type of motion. Then we are going to discuss about second type, which is the oscillatory motion or vibratory motion. Oscillatory motion, we are considering the simple pendulum which is fixed to the rigid support, and it is moving from extreme position to mean position, and again mean to extreme position. It covers the maximum distance from mean position to extreme position. This maximum distance of the maximum displacement from mean to extreme position, this is called as amplitude. Similarly, we are considering the string or the rubber which is fixed between the two rigid supports. If we plug that string, then it vibrates like this. It is vibrating about up and down. It is vibrating like this. So the maximum displacement from the mean position, that maximum displacement means we are considering this distance. This distance is also given by amplitude. This is the maximum displacement covered by that particle or covered by that object. This is the oscillatory motion. As well as we know that needle of the swing machine which is moving up and down, wings of the butterflies which are moving up and down, or the motion of the wings of the butterfly or the birds, which is the random motion. They move anytime or anywhere. So this motion is called as random motion. Okay. Then we are going to discuss about the circular motion. These are the basic. There are different types of motion. We are discussing only few types of motion here. Then we are going to discuss circular motion. Circular motion, it is the motion of a particle along circumference of the circle. Means what? We consider here sun and earth is rotating around the sun in particular circular orbit. We are considering this orbit whose radius is given by r. Okay, here earth is rotating around the sun in particular circular orbit, as well as electrons are revolving around the positively charged nucleus. This motion is called as circular motion. Object, particle moving along the circumference of the circle. This is the circular motion. Okay, if we take the stone which is tied to the string, and if we whirl that stone in vertical circle or in horizontal circle, then the motion of that stone, which is also circular motion. As well as if we take simple pendulum which is fixed to the rigid support, and if we whirl that in horizontal or vertical circle, then motion of that simple pendulum, it is also circular motion. In circular motion, we are getting its angular displacement, means its displacement, as well as we are getting angular velocity and angular acceleration. These are basics of the rotational motion, and we are using these terms also in the rotational motion. Here, this object moving along the circumference of the circle, its tangential velocity to the surface or the circumference of the circle, which is given by v. V is the linear velocity, and it is moving in the anti-clockwise direction with angular velocity omega. It moves from position A to position B. Here we are considering this OA. We consider the center is given by O, OA and OB. These are the position vectors which are along the radius. So these are also called as radius vectors. The distance between or the angle made by these two vectors at the center, this angle is given by theta. This theta is nothing but this is the angular displacement. Now we are going to discuss in detail circular motion. We say here theta, it is the angular displacement, and this angular displacement means what? The particle moves from position A to B. It covers the distance. This is called as this AB. This is called as arc length, and we are considering this is given by S. Radius R. R is the radius. So that we know that the basic formula for angle, that angle is given by arc length upon radius. Here we are getting theta is equal to arc length upon radius. So that we get here arc length R S and radius R. So that we get here theta is equal to S upon R. Angular displacement whose unit is given by radian. We are getting here unit which is radian, and this is in circular motion. We know that in translational motion we get linear velocity. That linear velocity is given by displacement upon time, where displacement is measured in meter and time is measured in second. So that we are getting unit of linear velocity meter per second. Here we find out angular displacement. This is the first basic term in the circular motion. Then we are going to find out angular velocity as the same linear velocity. Angular velocity is given by symbol omega. Omega is equal to angular displacement upon time. This is in basic in circular motion. We already discussed about this in 11th science. Omega is equal to angular displacement upon time. Its unit becomes radian per second. Similarly, we have to find out angular acceleration, which is given by alpha. Alpha is equal to omega upon t, and its unit is equal to radian per second square. Okay. Here we are getting linear velocity. Similarly, we find out acceleration. Acceleration, it is the rate of change of velocity, which is given, its unit is given by meter per second square. In both motions, in linear as well as in circular motion, we find out its equation and its unit. Okay. In circular motion, we discuss about the relation between linear velocity and angular velocity, as well as we discuss about relation between linear acceleration and angular acceleration. I write here equation. V means linear velocity, and this linear velocity is given by r omega. Okay, V linear velocity, r is the radius, and omega it is the angular velocity. This is the relation between linear velocity and angular velocity. Now we find out relation between linear acceleration and angular acceleration. Its equation is given by A is equal to r alpha. Alpha it is the angular acceleration. Okay, alpha is given by omega upon t, so that we write the equation in different forms also. We write this equation like this. V is equal to r omega. R omega is given by 2 pi upon t. We write the equation like this, 2 pi r upon t, as well as this equation is equal to 2 pi r upon t, where t it is the periodic time. Periodic time means what? When particle starts its motion from A and ends its motion at point A, means what? It completes one revolution, one rotation, one oscillation. Then the time taken by the particle or that object, that body, that time is called as periodic time. It is the time taken by that body, object or particle to complete one revolution, one rotation, one oscillation or one vibration. We write this equation in one more form, 2 pi r upon t. 1 by t. A relation between linear acceleration and angular acceleration, which is given by r alpha. Alpha is angular acceleration, and whose unit is given by radian per second square. We write this equation as A is equal to r, alpha is equal to omega upon t. Therefore, we are getting here, this equation can be written as r omega upon t. Or this equation is written in one more form. A is equal to r omega square. It is the acceleration, and this acceleration is called as linear acceleration, not angular acceleration. Here we consider the diagram. Particle is moving from position A to B along the circumference of the circle with radius r and with constant angular velocity omega. Then we are getting two types of acceleration. First, which is the acting towards the center, and second, which is acting away from the center. First, which is called as centripetal acceleration. Centripetal acceleration, it is acceleration acting towards the center. We show here that acceleration like this. This is the position vector, or this is the radius vector along the radius of the circle. Acceleration is acting towards the center, so this is called as centripetal. Or if the acceleration acting away from that center but along the radius vector, then this is called as centrifugal acceleration. Okay, centripetal acceleration, it is acting towards center, and centrifugal acceleration it is acting away from the center. It is acting towards the center, it is acting away from the center. Centripetal force example, all planets are revolving around the sun. This is the example of centripetal force because centripetal acceleration, because they are bounded to the center, as well as electrons are revolving around the positively charged nucleus. This is also example of centripetal acceleration. Centrifugal acceleration, it is acting in the pseudo force. We know that when the bus takes turns along the curved road, the force acting or the acceleration acting on the passenger, which is in the opposite direction, that acceleration is called as centrifugal acceleration. If bus takes turns right, then the passengers exerts the force or the acceleration exerted on the passenger. That acceleration is centrifugal acceleration. For example, the bulging of the earth at the equator and the flattening of the earth at the poles, this is because of the centrifugal force. The dryer in the washing machine, which acts on the same principle, on the same centrifugal acceleration. With the help of these two, equation for both types of acceleration are same. A is equal to r omega square, but the directions of both accelerations are different. And with the help of these two, we are getting centripetal force and centrifugal force. That centripetal force, which is given by formula m into A. A means what? Acceleration. This is the basic equation for force. Force is equal to mass into acceleration, and this can be written as force is equal to mass into acceleration. Acceleration is equal to r omega square. Therefore, we are getting here mr omega square. Or we write this equation as mv square by r omega square, where r omega is v. Therefore, we are getting here r omega mv square by r. This is the one more form of the equation. Or we may write this equation as m into r. Omega is equal to 2 pi upon t. So here we are getting 2 pi upon t bracket square, means mr into 4 pi square upon t square. This is one more equation. But in centrifugal force, we get the same equation, but the directions are opposite. So we are right here minus or negative sign. It indicates that it is acting away. Okay, so that we are getting mass into acceleration. It is equal to mr omega square or minus mv square by r, or here we write mr into 4 pi square upon t square. This is about the centrifugal force. Okay, this is about the circular motion. In this we discuss about the basic terms in the circular motion. Now we are going to discuss about after that we are going to discuss about, in our next lecture, we are going to discuss about the next point or the next type of motion, which is the rotational motion. This is the first topic of the 12th syllabus, which is the rotational dynamics. Rotational dynamics. In this topic, we are going to discuss about rotational motion, movement of inertia, radius of gyration, its applications, parallel axis theorem, perpendicular axis theorem, and some more points in this topic. Thank you.